It's the Monthly with John Ourand. We'll ask, is Google-YouTube the sleeping giant in the sports game? The NFL is talking to ESPN. MLB.TV is making itself available. Are we in a new stage for the leagues? And we'll talk about talent and how personalities have to go on different platforms to make their businesses work nowadays. Not everyone has to do it, but some of them do. Even us. It's the main event. John Ourand in the house from San Francisco. Those watching on video, John with a great background that we love from his hotel room. Always great to see you, John.
I made the bed for you, Andrew.
Very
I hope you
nice.
appreciated that.
Very nice. John, as you all know, has a now thrice weekly Puck newsletter, private email. Also, he has the Varsity every Wednesday and Sunday for his podcast. We're going to start with Google-YouTube. And look, we decided, John and I talk all the time. So sometimes we just have a conversation on the phone. I always say at the end, we both do, that could be a podcast. And so we're going to talk out Google-YouTube. I mean, just before we get to my sponsor here, when you look at Google-YouTube, I kind of look, they're like this, I keep hearing them. Like people kind of are whispering Google-YouTube. They have the Sunday ticket deal. Do you agree with that premise when you look at it?
Yes and no. Right now, if you look at the popularity of YouTube, even on TV screens, it's through the roof. And so if you're Google-YouTube, what do you need sports for? You're already sort of grabbing people's attention. If they really want to break out into more advertising, sports viewership, people stay longer and watch longer, and so that can help, and that could be a reason. They also have huge pockets. But one of the interesting things to me about just that whole sector, Andrew, is like, look, Netflix obviously is getting involved. Amazon has really set itself up and gotten involved. Apple started, it kind of stopped a little bit. Now it's trying to add subscribers, so maybe it's going to get back in. I mean, these are companies that on a dime are big enough and have enough money that once you get one executive in there that wants these rights, they're going to get the rights. And so my hesitancy with Google-YouTube is, I don't know who that executive would be. I mean, we can identify like, Eddie Q, and we can, identify like Jay Marine. These are big sports fans.
Yep.
And I'm not quite sure who that is at Google-YouTube. So that's my only hesitancy with them getting really involved.
All right, we're going to get deeper into that. If you want to subscribe to the full podcast, andrewmarchand.com, andrewmarchand.com. We're sponsored by WSC Sports. You know the biggest names in sports turn to WSC Sports. Now the company that pioneered AI-powered automated highlights has raised the bar again. Asset management capabilities have been added into the platform out of the box for no extra cost. That's old clients, new clients, everyone gets it. Asset management. No longer do you need to juggle or pay for multiple tools to complete your content workflow. It all happens in one place. Go to WSC Sports in the show notes, hit the yellow button, and then tell them Marchand sent you. May 6th, Tuesday, Rick Cardella is my guest for Off the Record with Andrew Marchand, presented by WSC Sports in Midtown. Sign up, again, in the show notes. Not guaranteed a spot, but please, hopefully we'll see you out there. When I look at Google-YouTube, John, and I look at them possibly being the center of the sports universe, it's kind of recreating cable. Yes, you're right. YouTube's the most watched, especially by young people, but even by older people. A lot of the service is free with advertising, and then they have their cable-like system. I guess the argument for them, they got Sunday Ticket to become the aggregator. Cable at its best was basically an aggregator. It aggregated all the channels, and you got them, you paid one fee. I think everyone sort of longs for that, not for dealing with cable companies, but better technology with YouTube TV, and a place where you could just go one-stop shopping. You have Roku's doing that. I mean, a lot of places are trying to do that. I think ESPN has dreams of being the place for sports, where you just go for sports. But Google-YouTube's out there. I think Apple's had thoughts about that. I mean, so I don't know. I think Google-YouTube, I don't know what's there. Again, this is one of our phone conversations. I'm not saying this is definitely happening. I'm saying that I just keep hearing Google-YouTube. They're ones to watch. Does that make sense in terms of them being the new cable?
To a certain extent, but I do think that, you have Amazon channels that are out there as well. That's something that The league certainly won. I mean,
Oh, wait, let me ask you a question before you. But what's better, YouTube for if you're looking, or Amazon channels?
they're sort of different products. YouTube is an actual what they call virtual MVPD.
Yep.
It's a distributor. So if you cut the cord and then this is one of my pet peeves actually. If you cut the cord and then subscribe to YouTube TV, you didn't really cut the cord. You're just streaming all the channels instead
Yep.
of watching them over cable. And what Amazon Channels basically is like it provides if you have a subscription and you can go into Amazon Channels and just watch it all within that one app, you
Yep.
know.
Okay.
So and that's sort of its bread and butter there. One thing about Google-YouTube, if they do want to get into sports, where and when do they start? Because I can't see them. This is the same discussion that we had with Amazon. Like I can't see Google-YouTube starting small.
Well, they have the NFL. Let's not forget they have Sunday Ticket. But you're talking about live games.
I'm talking about a package of a traditional package of live games, and how will they come in? And then you have MLB is coming to market with all of its rights. The packages that MLB sells to TV networks, and those are packages that got set up in the 1970s for a television type of audience. Can Google come out and like change the way that they buy the games? Can they come out and say, for example, all we want are the Yankee games or something
Yep.
like that, or just something a little bit different? And we'll be like the Yankee channel, and work out a deal with MLB. I mean, they can't do that right now. But what I'm getting the sense of, and nobody actually has a proper answer to this, is some of these new Netflixes and Google YouTubes are trying to see if there's a different way to buy the programming. Because when Amazon came in, Amazon bought traditional packages that look a lot like what you see on television. And like that might not be the way that these packages are bought and sold 10 years from now.
Yeah, we're going to get into it. And I think that kind of gives us a good transition to get into ESPN and their talks with NFL, and then MLB.TV that you just mentioned. To listen to the rest of the podcast, become a paid subscriber, andrewmarchand.com, andrewmarchand.com.